Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And as you can see behind me, I've got my smart car. Now in this video, firstly, I'm going to talk about the things that I don't like about this car. I want it to sound stupid because I like this car and I wouldn't have bought it if I wouldn't like it. These are just a few downsides about this car. Some of them could have been improved. As you can see, the car's here. Let's give you another walk around first. And as I'm saying again, I love this car, otherwise I wouldn't buy it. I had one before, so I know more or less everything about this car. And it's not to say that I don't like this car. So let's go in and talk about the first thing. So the first thing is a steering wheel. Now this steering wheel, as far as I can recall, now I checked everywhere underneath around it. I did look online to do some searches. And as far as I'm aware, I cannot adjust this steering wheel. So I cannot bring it forward, backwards, up or down. So it kind of stays in this position all the time. Which, to me, especially the first 2-3 days, it just didn't feel comfortable. Over time, I'm starting to get more used to this position. But ideally, I would like to bring it a bit more forward and adjust it to my, coordination. Because most people are different in terms of height. Some people are fat, thin. So I guess the steering wheel does kind of have a bit of a role when driving. And I would have loved to have it, according to my specific body. But yeah, I guess it's not possible to do it in this car. Now, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. Because as far as I said, as far as I checked all around, I couldn't find anything to move it. And I checked online and yeah, there was quite a few people having the same issues, and yes, there is no way to actually move it. Okay, moving on to the second thing. Second thing is, obviously I spoke about this before, so I'm not even going to go into detail because I've spoken about this a long time ago when I had my previous smart cars. This gearbox is quite clumpy. It just doesn't feel good, but again, I can do with it. However, it could be a lot better. So this is another thing I don't like about this car. Now the third thing is the engine. The engine is right behind me, which is not a big deal, but it is a little bit noisy. So when driving, as the engine is inside the car more or less, just behind your head, it could get quite noisy. And also this is a diesel, so to be fair, as far as I remember, the petrol one wasn't that much quieter than this diesel one. Although when this car is on a cold start, especially the diesel, it is a bit louder than the petrol. But once the engine is warm, it hasn't really got much of a louder noise compared to the petrol one. So it's mainly on a cold start, and then when you rev the engine, that's when it gets a bit noisy. But that's the same with the petrol one from my experience. Okay, so speaking about noisy, I'm gonna talk a bit loud, so I don't want it to come across that I'm screaming down you guys' ears, but just in case the sound is gonna be loud behind me from the engine. The next thing I don't like about this car is the handling. It drives very good, like now, but the minute I do a turn or going around a bend, not even on a high speed, like on the speed limit, let's even do 30 miles an hour around a bend, it could get a bit wobbly, and you just kind of hold the wheel and you feel, is the car gonna slide, is the car gonna make it, that kind of thing. So with this car I tend to go down turns a bit slower than I would do usually on another car. So this is another downside about this car. Now here's one more thing that I don't really like about this car, but in the end of the day it's quite expected. With the size of this car, it's a very little car. So when going down, for example, at A road, 50 miles an hour, when there's a little bit of wind, you actually feel the car kind of vibrating from the wind. And just imagine it would be heavy winds, the car might even feel like it, then the car might even feel like it will tip. So you do feel winds with this car, especially going down faster speeds. But as I said, it's a very small car, so it is kind of expected, and it's more of a city car at the end of the day. And this is why I bought this car, only for city use. No, for me, where I live in London, is just very convenient, and I wouldn't buy this if I'd have to commute motorway journeys and stuff like that. So after all, I really like this car, and all these little niggles around still doesn't top it up. So put it this way, if you have a scale and you put all the downsides compared to all the upsides win, because for my use in a city like London, it's just perfect. Here's another thing, and this one is probably going to apply to anyone who has a smart car. Well, especially in London, it depends really where you live and how the people drive around your city or your country. But what I feel is, normally when I tend to drive a smart car, you get judged like you're just a little thing on the road. People really don't tend to see you, you know, just like another car on the road. So put it in perspective, when you drive with this car, a lot of people will just make you kind of push through silly gaps. Well, not really push through silly gaps, because this car is a good thing that it can fit through good little narrow gaps, but they kind of expect you to do all different things that necessarily you won't manage to do it with this car, because they look at you as a little smart car. Let that little smart car wait. Let you know, like, it's just difficult for me to explain it, but I definitely feel a difference when driving this car. When driving another car, people do not treat you the same as driving a regular car, and they judge you in a different way, not because, you know, it's the kind of car you have. It's because they imagine, because you got this small little car, you manage to do all different miracles that you wouldn't manage to do with the others, you know, with a larger size or different kind of car, which kind of gets very annoying at times. These are just a few downsides that I don't like about this car. So yeah, that's really this video. So thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye now.